Your question is false. So if you can allow me to correct your falsehoods, then we can answer the question directly. So, false. Canadian Conservatives do not believe in giving tax dollars to media outlets. That's Justin Trudeau. That's Justin Trudeau. That's Justin Trudeau. Okay, if you don't want me to answer the question, I'll move on to someone else. You're a tax-funded mouthpiece to the PMO. That's the reality.
You gotta laugh at them. Don't get angry. Make fun of them. Laugh at them. Up in Canada, we love the conservative politician Pierre Poilievre. He is going to be running for the prime minister seat against Justin Trudeau. And he's best when he's engaging with the media. Well, you know, up in Canada, they actually have government-funded media, right? The government subsidizes the press. Imagine that. Imagine just for a minute what it would be like here in America. I mean, I know we've got NPR and PBS. But imagine if the vast majority of the reporters and the broadcast networks and cable networks got direct subsidy payouts from our government. They'd be 10 times worse than they already are. Don't believe me? Take a look at this. Take a look at what happened when Pierre Poilievre actually voted to cut that funding for the media. Watch how this reporter reacts.
Why did your party want to grant over $100 million in regulatory relief to the mainstream media?
We don't want to give any tax dollars to the mainstream media. Our belief is that the mainstream media and all...
Your party's decision to grant regulatory relief?
So I'll answer your question. The media that is bought and paid for, where are you from, by the way? Which outlet are you in? Which outlet? Which outlet?
Canadian Press.
Ah, okay, Canadian Press. So you're talking about tax dollars for media. Isn't CBC your biggest? Isn't no? I can answer. Yeah, and you want to answer?
The party want to grant $100 million in regulatory relief to the mainstream media.
When would you like me to respond? Okay, good. Okay, great. So of course you are a tax-funded media outlet and spreading Justin Trudeau's message.
Why did you?
And so you're.
All right, so we're going to jump in here. It goes on, and you're going to see more of it. But you see what's happening here, right? So she works for a media outlet, and there are many other media outlets that are actually directly funded by the government. And who's in charge of the government right now? The Liberal Party, Justin Trudeau. And, of course, Justin Trudeau talks to these media outlets that are funded by the government, by his government. And he says, listen, I got more money. You could hire more reporters. Maybe build yourself a new office building, buy yourself some new equipment. You know what? Maybe everybody who works for the CBC or the Canadian Press, maybe all the reporters, they deserve to have maybe 8 weeks vacation, maybe 10 weeks vacation, and maybe even a bonus so that they can really have a nice vacation and get out of this cold place, get down there to Florida and enjoy America a little bit, go to Disney World or something, right? This is what they do. And so then they all know, geez, if we keep Trudeau in place, he's going to make our lives a lot happier, a lot better. I'm going to get a raise. I'm going to get a bonus. I'm going to get a long vacation. I'm going to get a new office. So I'm going to go out there and I'm going to make sure that Trudeau stays in office. So I'm going to attack his opponent. And, of course, his opponent is going to do the opposite, right? It's like, oh, screw you. I'm not going to give you extras. In fact, if I win, you guys are out. I'm going to cut you down. So look at how aggressive this reporter is. You think our reporters are aggressive. And they are. Look at how aggressive she gets, interrupting him constantly. I love that he's smiling about, by the way, oh, God, I wish every Republican who has to deal with the media in this country takes clues and lessons from Pierre here. You got to laugh at them. Don't get angry. Make fun of them. Laugh at them because they're constantly displaying the reason why they should be mocked. Right? All right, a little bit more here. It goes on. It's so beautiful.
You're interrupting me again. I am answering the question.
Do you regret granting $100 million in regulatory relief to the mainstream media?
Your question is false. So if you can allow me to correct your falsehoods, then we can answer the question directly. So, false. Canadian Conservatives do not believe in giving tax dollars to media outlets. That's Justin Trudeau. That's Justin Trudeau. That's Justin Trudeau. Okay, if you don't want me to answer the question, I'll move on to someone else. You're a tax-funded mouthpiece to the PMO. That's the reality. So
question answered. You committed.
I'm trying to, but you're heckling. Are you going to let me answer the question, or are you just going to heckle on behalf of Justin Trudeau? Which is it?
I would love the answer.
Great. So our party does not support tax dollars for media outlets, because that's when we end up with biased media like you, who come here and articulate the PMO talking points rather than delivering real news to the Canadian people. Justin Trudeau gave Bell Media and other media tax dollars supposedly to protect media jobs. And then what happened? They all got laid off. So that the supposed justification for giving Bell all this money was that it was going to save media jobs. Well, they all got fired. So I guess that wasn't the real reason for giving tax dollars to the media. The real reason was for him to buy support from the media, which is what it actually did. So we believe that media should be driven by readership, viewership, and listenership. And that's what allows it to represent the Canadian people rather than taking marching orders from the PMO.
Imagine that. Imagine that. Having the media actually be beholden to the whims and wills of the market, the consumer, you. And of course, up there in Canada, we can't possibly have that. So I laid out, and he sort of laid out right there exactly. He kept saying PMO, that's Prime Minister's office. Kept laying out exactly how this whole thing is set up. Trudeau buys off the big media companies. He gets favorable coverage. I do love the fact that they ended up laying off reporters anyway, because it's really just buying the people at the top, and the reporters on the ground don't care. This lady obviously wants to keep her job, so she's going to keep her overlords happy. And that means the media company she works for, and also by extension, Justin Trudeau, goes after this guy, heckles him, argues with him, debates him. But the cycle is not complete. No. The circle jerk continues here with now a member of Justin Trudeau's party, a member of parliament, coming out and responding to that little press conflict that you just saw. She's going to come out and do her own little stand-up with the reporters. Watch.
So I just want to get back on the altercation between Pierre Poilievre yesterday and a journalist from Canadian Press.
Oh, it's an altercation now. What you just saw was not a debate. It wasn't a disagreement. It wasn't an argument. It wasn't a dispute. It wasn't a politician trying to answer and then pushing back on a reporter who continued to interrupt him. Very politely, by the way. No. It was an altercation. So already she's just doing whatever she can to serve the entire cycle here. See? Okay? Because it's not just enough that the Liberal Party in Canada through Justin Trudeau buys off this favorable media, the media coverage, and then has a reporter go out and do their dirty work by arguing and fighting with their main political opponent. Now she needs to bring it home. Watch.
First of all, I want to say that he's pretty thin-skinned. It's our job when we're politicians to answer questions from journalists. We're accountable to the Canadian population. And
he was trying to answer questions from the journal. He was trying to answer the questions. She wouldn't let him.
It's the journalist's job to ask those questions. Some questions are difficult. Some questions are easy. Yesterday's question was pretty easy. He was just asked to explain why his party introduced an amendment to lift fees for Canadian broadcasters. It's a pretty easy question. It's his party that brought that forward. So yes, when you're a politician, you need to answer questions. And when you're attacking the press, when you're attacking our free press, you're also attacking democracy. It's unworthy of a leader.
You see how that works? First of all, it was an altercation. You attacked the press, and therefore you're attacking democracy. It sounds pretty familiar, doesn't it? I mean, when Trump gets attacked for this and accused of this, he just sends out a funny GIF on Twitter, a funny meme showing a train rolling over a pretend cartoon CNN reporter or something. And that's an attack on the media, an attack on democracy itself. And Canada's learned quite a few lessons from what goes on down here in the lower 48. The only difference is up there, Canadians' tax dollars actually pay for that crap. So I guess we dodged a little bit of a bullet there.